How big is the space that you're leasing, which is what we call the premises, and why is that an important fact? The most important factor affecting the rent is the size of the space. Commercial spaces are very often marketed and rented on a per square foot basis. And you'd be surprised to see that still parties don't take accurate measurements before they sign the lease. The failure to do this can lead to confusion or conflict in the future. Most leases are written so that they say the approximate size of the space and they say what the rent amount is. Some even go further and they say that the rent amount can't be changed if the size of the premises turns out to be wrong. In multi-tenant buildings, such as office projects or shopping centers, tenants pay a share of the operating expenses of the project, and that's referred to as CAMs, common area maintenance. And that's also based on the size of the space relative to the overall size of the project. Very often tenants eyeball the size of the space for space planning purposes, or they simply rely on the landlord's measurements that are given to them. Both parties will benefit greatly by having an accurate measurement of the premises, a field measurement of the premises done by a professional. For office space, it's common to not pay attention to the difference between rentable and usable square footage, which is very important. The usable square footage is the inside of the premises that the tenant occupies. The rentable is determined by adding to the usable size of the tenant's pro rata share of the office building's common areas, such as lobbies, hallways, restrooms, and things of that nature. It's important for both parties to again understand the difference between rentable and usable in order for the landlord to collect the full expense and for the tenant to make sure it knows its total occupancy costs. Here are 5 ways to protect yourself. Number 1, like I said earlier, physically measure the premises using professionals such as an architect or surveyor. With today's technology that's available, it's very easy to measure space. Number 2, specifically provide in the lease that the rent is on a per square foot basis and the agreed upon size of the space so that you have that clearly spelled out in the lease. Number 3, if the space is to be measured later, then provide for a remeasurement of the premises and provide that the rent will be retroactively and prospectively adjusted if there's a discrepancy in the square footage that's discovered at a later time. Number 4, specify a measurement standard, whether you're going to use the BOMA method, which is the Building Owners and Managers Association, or AIA, American Institute of Architects, or the AIR CRE method. It's important to designate. For multi-tenant projects, measuring the entire building is not practical, and tenants should require the landlord to represent the accuracy of the total size of the project. Tenants can ask for building plans to verify these figures.